Hey everyone, my name is Ford from NorCalThrills. Today I'm bringing you an update from California's Great America for March 11th, 2022. I'd like to apologize for the lack of videos lately. I've been traveling a bunch and haven't made it out to the park since last December. But with CGA reopening and my travels quieting down a little, I promise you'll see a lot more updates from me in the future. Of course, the reason I was at the park today was for CGA's opening day Passholder preview, where the park opened a day before general opening, exclusively for pass holders. Although the event was slightly more crowded than I expected, it was still a quiet day and a great day for riding the rides. Our coverage today is going to focus on a handful of topics, namely major changes in All-American Corner, some other miscellaneous updates from around the park, and of course some ride footage and observations from the new season. Let's get started. All-American Corners was home to the biggest news of the off-season from the park. Less than a week ago, the park shocked us by announcing a new ride, Liberty Twirler, at the site of the old Firefall Top Spin ride. This kind of classic scrambler ride was surprisingly not available at the park until now. I went to the area to check out the work on it, to find there was no real visible progress yet. There did seem to be some construction behind the work walls, but I couldn't really see much. I'd wager it'll use at least some of the infrastructure left over from Firefall, but we'll have to see. The ride is scheduled to open in May, and I'll keep you up to date with how construction goes. Continuing our All-American Corners update, Orbit remains closed and is still being worked on. The ride does seem to be looking much better than it did in December. The sign out front still says that the ride will reopen in the spring of 2022, and I'll keep you up to date with the ride as it hopefully reopens to the public in the next couple of months. The biggest All-American Corner surprise was that Game Time Sports Bar was closed and the signage removed. The inside of the restaurant and the arcade attached to the building were gutted and completely empty. An employee walking by told me to keep my eye out for what would come to that space, and I'm really curious to see. I'd assume some sort of dining that fits the theme better, but we'll have to wait and see. Moving on to some other assorted updates, let's start with some ride availability. As you might expect from the first weekend of the year, some rides aren't ready yet. Some of them are ones you'd expect, like the park's 2 water rides. Whitewater Falls especially seems to be getting some work done on its bridge over the main drop. Drop Tower was also in pieces being refurbished. Patriot and Tiki Twirl were sending empty cars all evening and should be open soon. The biggest ride closure is for sure Gold Striker. The ride appears to have some work being done on it, but employees say it'll be open in April. Hopefully we'll be treated to a smoother, faster ride. The park released their event schedule, with the new event Carnival replacing Taste of Orleans, and Tricks and Treats replacing Halloween Haunt. I'm a little disappointed with the Haunt news, but I'm excited to see what Tricks and Treats brings us. Already, some of the Haunt locations are taken down while others are still up. I'll keep my eyes out for whether the last visible holdout maze, Wax Museum, is taken down or repurposed into something more child-friendly. I am glad to see that Friday nights, the best new event from last year, is coming back. The stage in front of Great American Theater was looking more permanent this year, which we'll have to see what it means for the theater show this summer. Either way, the live music the park puts on is always a hit and something I'm glad to see brought back. Looks like South Bay Shores will open this year on Memorial Day weekend. I've been very effusive with praise for the water park, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it looks in its second season. Finally, some exciting news for Coaster Dynamics fans. CGA now sells small models of Flight Deck, Railblazer, and Gold Striker in several shops around the park. If they're your thing, definitely check them out. Of course, like we always do, we'll finish with some ride footage. It feels right to see a Railblazer ripping through its course again. At the end of the season last year, Flight Deck was closed off and on for refurbishment and repainting, and this year it's open again like normal. The fresh paint looks fantastic, and it's great to see CGA invest in its rides and keeping them looking great. So there you have it, another update from California's Great America for March of 2022. It was great being back in the park after the off-season, and it's fun to see what's changed. Today specifically, we took a look at All American Corners updates, some other miscellaneous updates from the park, and some ride footage. Expect another update from me from Six Flags Discovery Kingdom next weekend, and my next CGA update in April.